Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, or see them yopo.
Mema wakwaba e de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to our sabe to me aka ntem no watie afa so make sure say obe like na wa comment no share ama afoforo so nsaka na comment section ho so no opese wo kire wa adwen obetimi e de wadwen kire ato honom na amanfo so anya bia kenkan na onim say PENDREAM TV there eye nsem a ekoso Ghana yam politics mu ne de ba na yasaka ya ne de abranti na so me video I saka pese no che na ye de ba nti me mo modern astro so obehwe video we amana si awie na wa kire wa adwen e comment section na se yenko na yenko video.
Now to my question to Sami Okudzeto.
I'm ready for it.
So Nana, just a minute before you answer.
Okay.
So if the controller comes and says that, just like your friend sent you the
preliminaries,
that the contract had 5% mobilization for preliminaries, and so there was a justification for that payment to be made.
And they said there was according to they said there was a guarantee.
Yes,
there's a bank guarantee. But let them come and let him offer his explanation. Then let's take it up from there.
All right. Okay. So
now, Sami said there's a 2 million. Payment made for SkyTrain.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the SkyTrain.
Is that the one they took the money from that fund?
Yes.
The investment fund.
GIF. Yes.
The Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And then there was some money spent over
Sputnik. Ejapa, 12 million.
Sputnik is which one?
Sputnik, the COVID vaccine.
The one that had a parliamentary committee.
From Russia.
Where the minister said he wasn't.
Ajimamenu. Yes. Right, yeah. And then
when you authorized it.
And then
but the vaccine came, I didn't come.
And the vaccine is from Russia.
It
decides to deal with middlemen, sheikhs from Dubai. When you could have dealt directly as a government. The ambassador told us. I went to see the ambassador with Honorable Akando. That
these things.
In fact, they even issued a statement.
These things.
But recently, the Honorable Defa Makbo also made a disclosure about some money that we also have with one of those, whether it's a UN agency or WHO group, for some medications. We have some money that we've left there.
Yes, yeah. With,
I don't know
WHO.
why.
And then, I'm still looking for the ECOWAS $200,000 that
Which money is that?
They donated for the flood victims. I intercepted documents from ECOWAS. Ghana applied for support from ECOWAS.
You mean this spillage?
Yes, the spillage, yes. ECOWAS donated $200,000.
Oh, okay.
I'm still looking for the money.
But since last week, you haven't gotten in touch with the minister and all the things we talked about at your point. Anyway, it looks just a small, it looks like we public officials charged with a project. We like middlemen power. Because you remember
especially when they dress like sheikhs.
Exactly. Yeah. Because Randy, you remember Ameri, the power plant business. Now is the Kumasi. They are married to one of the major controversies that was raised about Ameri was that we didn't go to General Electric, which manufactured the plants. And then the plant itself that we went for was owned by a great company called Meta. But
the sheikhs with the Sheikh Maktoum. The Russians say they're still looking for him. They don't know him.
The Russians themselves cannot find him.
They can find him.
Then how can you find him? But
oh my goodness.
No, there seems to be a preference for middlemen.
If you don't have money, if you don't have the money to buy, and you are looking for somebody with a financial capacity to do the transaction for you, that might make sense. But when you have the money, when you have the money to buy, why will you do that?
You have an embassy here. You can walk to the embassy.
Anyway, so that's an aside. Now, Sami, my question is, so there's $2 million paid from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund for a SkyTrain project.
Yeah.
That has not happened.
Yes.
There's some monies that you say were paid for Ejapa.
Yes, $12 million.
Office facilities and so on.
There's National Cathedral, $58.1 million.
In fact, the SkyTrain, the Auditor General's report says that the company that was dealt with, they didn't even have the certification.
Yes, yeah, they didn't.
So what was the due diligence that was even done before 2 million was given to them?
Yeah.
But you see, that's more the reason why I'm saying that, because I have always said to you that the institution with oversight responsibility for public funds is Parliament.
Yes.
Not the executive.
Yeah.
And in fact, Parliament has the oversight because it's the executive that is spending. We have always lamented about the inability of Parliament to deal with the executive as far as their oversight of the public money is concerned. And we have said that it's always because Parliament has been weak in terms of the power structure in Parliament. That you have always had the party controlling the executive also having a majority, a vast working majority in Parliament. So it limits the ability of Parliament to perform the oversight over the public funds of Ghana. And that God being good in this Parliament, that weakness in Parliament is gone because you have the numbers being equal. And more importantly, you have the Speaker of Parliament who's vested with the powers of Parliament coming from the minority. So you have this issue about $2 million that has been paid for a SkyTrain project. And you have monies that have been spent over Ejapa, which we assume that is defunct. We are talking about Polugu now, simply because one MP raised the matter at a hearing. One MP raised the matter at a hearing. And all of us are now seized with the matter. And we believe that the proper officials who authorize the payments would be brought and we'll get to the bottom of it. One MP at a hearing. So when you have the forces of Parliament now balanced, in fact, it's tilted.
I'm told the money is with WHO, $80 million.
Which one is that?
The money we have there that we have not gone to chase.
Which one?
With the WHO. The one I said that the Honorable Defamapo wrote about. One of our viewers has sent me. This is WHO.
They are supposed to give us dash us some money?
No. So medicines, I think we made payments. And so we need to go for that.
The vaccines?
Not the COVID vaccines. I think some
after WHO, they will pay us. I mean, this is a United Nations organization.
No, it looks like we are not even interested in going to chase the money.
The really?
You remember that recently they even sent us drugs, which includes even very sensitive drugs for snake bites and all of that. Which were abandoned at the port
so you
for
see, Randy,
several months. You remember?
Randy, just a single question from a member of Parliament that we've paid 80 million to WHO. We don't seem to have the drugs. Minister, where's the money or where's the drugs? One single question, which definitely will be admitted by the Speaker. We seem to be like the Parliament of 2001 or 2009. Same. That's where my disappointment comes from. So this 2 million SkyTrain money, that not one member of Parliament, if the majority won't do it because maybe they understand it, the minority, not one member, can file a simple question to the relevant ministry that this 2 million, one, have you paid 2 million to SkyTrain? What is the basis of the payment? What has happened to it? Just one question. 3 years down the line, 4 years down, we can't.
So the questions have been asked. I remember that Honorable Govt even came to explain came to explain himself, what his role was, who we should ask, and all that.
Yeah. They've all been passing the buck. Amewu also passed the buck. Yeah, that happened before he came.
How can Parliament allow a minister on the floor to pass the buck? But if they are going to pass the buck, hold a hearing like this, committee. Yes.
Parliamentary committee.
Committee. Because you have the power.
But Sputnik, we had that committee, but our money is still there. Sputnik.
But that's what you said. The minister came to cry that it was a mistake.
Yes.
But that's what
the money is still
he
there.
said he was so stressed, so he couldn't think.
Yeah, but at least there was a committee, and the minister came to admit. And so, but the committee could have
we
decided.
still don't. Sheikh Maktoum has not refunded our $2.4 million.
The people of Insutem.
He seems to be your friend.
The people of Insutem.
I can't believe how one sheikh.
It's okay. I'm saying.
The people of Insutem.
Yeah.
In the eastern region.
Yes. Fantiakwa.
They have a saying that the Utu Okrafu.
Now to Momonesu. Yeah. So what is the?
Call Bema.
Not true. They, I'm sure they will tell you that, like the message that I got from the editor, they will tell you that things are on course.
But this message,
but it says it's mobilization. How do you get to the truth? Right? You see, that is it, because I mean the people we politicians.
So can he tell us where the cars are parked? He said they bought some cars. Mobilization.
I think he was just speaking in general terms about what it will be for.
Listen, I will give you his name, and then you go and ask him.
Okay.
Because I also need to know where the cars are. But the fundamental issue that is affecting our democracy in terms of delivering accountability and probity is being lost. And so we have had, like it used to happen, accusations and counter. Look, I remember in the second parliament, there were 63. 1997 to 2000. There were 63 members of the minority. And there were 133 members of the majority. You have this elder, in fact, he was the oldest member of parliament at that time. J.H. Mensah. I was the youngest. So I was his opposite. Myself and Sly Mensah. But J.H. Mensah, the kind of probity and accountability, even with those numbers, the impact that he made, I think back to that time. Even before the 1997 to 2000 parliament, in the parliament of 1993 to 1996, the first parliament, Hawa Yakubu, one single woman, she will come out of parliament and hold a press conference on the corridor and make the issues public issues. One single woman. Now you have a situation where the minority is not a third of the house or one single woman. They are half. And you have the speaker.
They are holding press conferences every day. They are getting some parliamentary committees. Some.
Listen.
Some of us have even
it's not about press conference. Everybody can hold press conference. Because you hold your press conference, you talk your story. Me too, I talk my story. Where is the accountability? There has to be a force that can prove to get accountability.
So where are the independent?
Now you see.
Where are the independent
and you see, to illustrate,
agencies, Nana?
But they are agencies.
Assuming that these guys are playing politics. I thought the reason, because you know the last time we were here and then I was talking about how unfathomable it is to see two agencies in the electricity sector trading accusations when our issue is about delivering electricity for us.
Yeah.
Now, last week, what did we see? 3 anti-corruption agencies trading accusations.
Yeah.
I've never seen some before in my life.
On the Cecilia
Adapa's issue. Attorney General says this. Yoko says this. OSP says this. The agencies that are supposed to collaborate.
But Randy, I'm saying, and you agree, that the Constitution of Ghana vests the oversight over public monies in Parliament. And if, look, as what we are speaking today, why are we speaking about it? Because
a parliamentary committee.
Yes. Why hasn't the public account brought all the people to come and answer about SkyTrain? Why hasn't the public accounts brought all the people involved to talk about Ijapa? You see, so for me, you need to move beyond the trading of accusations. Because as for that one, you say yours, I say mine. We'll talk about it until the next event comes. But there's rare power that can get to the bottom of these matters. So I'm a little disappointed that if this parliament, and I remember the JH Minister Parliament, just 61 people. And the impact was so good that in one election, the NPP moved from 61 to 800. It's a massive development. From 61, I mean, we're 63 because two members of the CPP are joined, but the NPP actually was 61. And we moved from 61 to 800 in one election because of the effective leadership provided. So when now that the numbers are balanced and the speaker is from the minority, it's like the Public Accounts Committee. The chairman of that committee and the majority of members on that committee are from the minority. It was designed by the Constitution to be the spearhead of accountability by Parliament. Now the entire Parliament can be likened to the Public Accounts Committee because the Speaker of Parliament is from the minority. And yet, you have these lingering issues. Say 2 million, SkyTrain. We talk about it. And then we go, then Japan, then talk about it.
But shouldn't the executive who we voted for, who've taken our $2 million, and giving it to somebody for a SkyTrain, they're telling us what has happened to the money?
Now, if they haven't told you,
yes,
because they believe that they're acting in your best interest, and you believe they are not acting in your best interest, because you haven't seen the SkyTrain, how should that matter be resolved? They should be brought to accountability. The Parliament should stand for you and for the executive and say, because you and I, we can talk about it on this platform. Your platform goes everywhere. But that's all that it does. But it's the Parliament that can summon the board or the director of the Ghana Investment Fund and the railway minister. Parliament can summon all of these parties and have a live telecast and say, tell us about the SkyTrain. Tell us about the money.
So that's what I'm telling you, that if you take the case of Sputnik, Parliament did that. That's how come the minister was able to tell us that he was under
The minister said he admitted the mistake.
Yes,
but then Parliament, what did Parliament do? I think they laughed at him and let him go.
No, Parliament, there's a report recommending his removal, that there should be a vote of censure. They submitted,
but of course, they won't get the votes.
But now he's no more the minister, so we need the money. We need the money retrieved.
You mean?
And there's only the executive.
No. There was a consensus report.
Yes.
That the minister should resign.
Should be removed from office. That he should face a vote of censure. And
that wasn't done.
Until he was reshuffled.
But you see, it reinforces my point. So.
But a minority cannot do the vote of censure. They don't have the numbers.
You need to test.
Chief, but you say that there was a consensus report that this should be done. I can imagine if the speaker doesn't move on it. Normally that's what happens. The Speaker doesn't move on it. I remember when this very first Parliament that we're talking about, there was a report that the head of state at that time had taken some monies from Nigeria.
Yeah, the Sani Abacha matter.
And we thought that that matter affected the integrity of Ghana, that the Ghanaian president, it's been reported in international media, that the Ghanaian president had taken some money from Nigeria. What for? And the minority at that time wanted to bring the matter to Parliament. The Speaker said, no, these are rumors. The Speaker embodies the power of Parliament. So if the Speaker is not on your side, I can imagine your frustration. The Speaker at that time said this matter is some newspaper reports. He's not going to have it come to Parliament. Because the motion was that the Parliament should pass a resolution, or Parliament should investigate the matter. And so it went on and on and on because the Speaker wouldn't allow it. And then the minority came with some background thing that the Parliament should review the decision of the Speaker. You know, and then all the arguments. That was the day that there was a fight in Parliament. But I'm saying, here you have a situation where a report has been generated by consensus that there should be a motion of censure. The only thing that can stop that motion is the Speaker not admitting it. Because if there's a motion of censure and it's a secret ballot, and even the minister won, because before that motion there's going to be a whole debate about the conduct of the minister. And even if the minister won, and in this Parliament, despite the things that the minorities, in fact, the one that they say they will fight, that's when they go and give it. I've never seen it before. And that's one of the reasons why the son of man himself had to leave.
So you now know the reasons?
I imagine, because I've never...
For the record, I've never disclosed to Nana why I resigned. Just for the record.
I have not said that is what you have told me. I've said that this is what because you have steadfastly refused to tell us why. So I'm just having an intelligent aid. So I'm saying that here's a situation where Parliament has the power. That power has not been effective because of the structure of Parliament since 1993. Fortunately for the country, you have a situation where Parliament is now, let's say, controlled by the minority. So the entire Parliament now is like the Public Accounts Committee. We should be getting much more
than what we're getting.
Than we're getting, because these raising issues, we used to raise issues when we were 61. And they will brush it aside. We used to raise issues when we were 61. Now it shouldn't be just raising the issues. So it's and then my second point is that Samuel Okudzeto says that the record of Akufo-Addo, the legacy of Akufo-Addo is bad. We talked about all of this. But if the record of Akufo-Addo is bad, John Mahama's record too is bad. You can't run away from it. Even if we limit ourselves to just dealing with the treatment of the public purse. Take corruption. We had JIDA. The JIDA corruption scandal. We had the SADA. The famous are confirmed and all of that. Bas branding. The Ford. Saglemi. The tree planting. Sifting switch. Suba info systems. Plenty. In fact, one prominent politician of the NDC from the north said that because of the corruption under John Mahama's presidency, he did not think that another Northerner was going to be president in the next 20 years because of the corruption that had attended upon John Mahama's presidency.
Are you referring to Mati Amedu?
Yes.
Okay.
So, if you say Akufo-Addo's record is bad, in this case, like I said, because of the balance of forces in Parliament, you have the power and the opportunity to hold Akufo-Addo's feet to the fire. You haven't done that. What you do is you take a private decision to resign. But if that's what you want to tell, I'm saying, and you say that it's a legacy, the alternative cannot be John Mahama, because his legacy is also atrocious. So this business about touting him as the person to come and give us some better government will not wash. It's not true. This record is there. Huh? Don't come and fight.
So let me ask you a question.
Anyway,
For the 7.5 years
yeah.
that you have been in power,
Yeah.
what have you done about all these alleged acts of corruption that you have enumerated?
Yeah.
Because you enumerated all those things prior to the 2016 elections. And you told Ghanaians
Which one? All of
the
the
things you
GDI
mentioned, all those things. Now, yes, now...
Let me mention them again. Now, you finish.
Now, you were given the opportunity to govern.
Yeah.
For the 7.5 years that you've been in power,
Yeah.
what have you done about all these things that
It's a legitimate question. And if you are going to talk about some of the omissions of this government, I would say these are some of the omissions of the government. But be that as it may, just 3-4 weeks ago, we saw the result of an effort by government. Is it a Maslock? Is it Maslock? The lady?
Yes.
Alice government has successfully prosecuted that matter. The current minority leader is in court. Our court processes take long. Even this Maslock thing, straightforward matter, took 4 years. But as we speak, the minority leader himself, it's been taken through legal processes for alleged corruption.
That doesn't mean anything.
What do you mean?
It doesn't mean anything. The fact that he's before court doesn't mean he's guilty of any crime.
Have I said he's guilty?
No, I'm saying that because you're citing that example within the context.
Yeah, but we are talking about fighting corruption.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm saying, I'm giving you instances where I have told you that I believe it should be more, both now and before.
I said now, what do you mean?
Oh, some of these issues that have been...
You mean things that are
yes,
happening now?
and before. Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Corruption is not a time-bound thing.
Yeah.
And I've said to you that if you ask me about some of the omissions of this government, some of these issues that are still working about, I would mention them as one of the omissions of the government. But be that as it may, you would agree that some effort is being made. And I've given you, and I'm giving you the examples, that in one case just a couple of weeks ago, we saw the successful prosecution. And as we speak, no less a person than the current minority leader is also being taken through legal processes for alleged corruption. We've also had cases where people, I think it's a national insurance, was it national insurance or national something?
Communications.
NCA. We also prosecute
For procurement breaches.
for procurement breaches and so on. No, not procurement breaches.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
for corruption.
I think that had to do with the board chair.
We saw monies that were lodged in people's accounts and so
I'm
on.
saying that had to do with the board chair.
Yes, but
where they
it's
say
part of
that.
it. So beyond
He's not the only person who was
beyond the procurement, there were cases where monies have actually been stolen. But I'm saying that that is not enough. That we should be doing a lot more. But the president himself said he's doing his best.
Who?
The president himself, he said he's doing his best.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
You know that the Sputnik one we're just discussing.
Yeah.
When he went to the minister's hometown, you saw how he trivialized the issue and made a joke out of it.
Yeah.
That Ghana for Omo Pai Pai na Sumu said, yes. That's his best.
When the president
Really
spoke,
doing his best.
Listen, when the president spoke, he told you the laws that have come into place the offices that have come into place. They said he's a clearing agent. He explained that it's not justified. And so what I'm saying is, he also feels he's doing his best. We can agree, or you can have the opinion that the best is not enough. No problem. But at least
I'll give you just one example to buttress that. Just one example.
No, but I'm saying to you that if you ask me,
not an example
one of
an
the
act of corruption.
But what?
When the president was justifying the need for the office of special prosecutor, one of the key things he said was that people have the opinion, and they always say that you are unable to deal with your own because of the AG and being part of cabinet and all that. And that is one of the key reasons why we need the office of special prosecutor. However, under his tenure, anytime there's an issue about an official of his government, it is not referred. Anytime his government decides to refer anything to any agency to investigate, and it does not rely on the OSP.
Who does it rely on?
The police ID or some other body. And I always, anytime that happens, I play back that key justification for the setting up of the office of the OSP.
Because the CID might be handicapped in prosecuting sitting officials. That's what you are saying. But
well, he said it.
Yes. No, so you thought it would be best if he referred this matter.
No, on the basis of a justification he even made.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
I'm agreeing. So you in your thinking, because of that justification for the OSP, it would have been best if he referred these matters to the OSP.
Would have been walking the talk.
Yes. I don't have a problem with that opinion. But the OSP, do they need, the office as set up, does it need a referral from somebody?
No. But when another agency is seized with a matter, then it becomes a problem. So if you recall, the ANAS and the mining thing he did, he did some expose.
Okay.
You realize that when he finished, he petitioned the OSP. And then government, through the ministry, then also invited the police ID. Then the police ID invited him, and he said that the person who did that, he referred to the OSP. And so there's no way he can deal with it. And the anti-corruption coalition and all that raised that issue.
Okay.
That if the OSP is seized with the matter, why would you refer the issue to another and have a parallel investigation on the issue? And true, when the CID finished the report, they indicated that the person who did the expose, they did not cooperate with them because he said he had already petitioned. So they issued a report minus the input of that person.
So the point, your point is that the fight against corruption can be better. That's your point.
Oh, I won't use those words.
No, if you use those words, I agree with you. Because I've told you already that if you ask me, one of the omissions of this government, all these cases that are begging for investigation, I'll point it at one of the omissions of the government. So I don't have a problem. But my point bears repeating that if you say that there's some legacy of Akufo-Addo and it's a bad legacy, and you are calling on Ghanaians that Mahama's legacy too is bad, and so he cannot be the alternative.
So let me respond to Nana Akomea's concern.
We need to take a quick break.
All right.
I have the lawyer Edwin Tamaklo. He sends me this text. He says, kindly tell Nana Akomea that there is no charge of corruption as an offense against the minority leader. At least I'm his counsel.
So what is he in court for? What is the minority?
No, it has nothing to do with corruption.
I'm sure he can send us. I'm sure he can send us those charges.
So what is he in court? He should tell us though. He's in court for maybe breaking
procurement law.
Procurement.
All right. We'll be back shortly.
So, Doc, Nana Akomea's perspective on this matter to be very honest with you, is akin to the one who says that let us not blame the person who opened the stable for the horses to bolt in the first place. Mm-hmm. Let us rather focus attention on the folks out there who failed to apprehend the horses when they have already bolted from the stable. You see,
I'm saying that the one who you claimed let the horses bolt, mm-hmm. he has a supervisor. And if the supervisor agrees that the stable keeper is not doing his or her work well, the supervisor should bring him into account.
No problem.
For all you know, the stable keeper doesn't even know that he's letting the horses bolt.
That is even dangerous. It is more scandalous that you don't know that we've lost $58.1 million in the National Cathedral project. You don't know that we have lost $2.4 million to a shonky Sheikh Mark II, who is not from Russia, who is not from Russia but Dubai, who had nothing to do with the invention of the Sputnik V vaccine for COVID. The owner of the stable doesn't know that $11 million has been lost in the Pualugu matter, $12 million on a Japan, $190 million gone under the Millennium Challenge Compact. That is even scary. It's a more frightening proposition to me. I am scared to death by that proposition. Look, let's be clear and honest. The buck stops with the leader. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is in charge of the executive. He is in charge of our national resources. What were some of the profound statements he made when he was seeking our mandate? One, I will protect the public purse. President Akufo-Addo repeated this in his inaugural address, albeit a heavily plagiarized address. Let's forget about the plagiarism. But at least the few lines that were his in that speech, he said he will protect the public purse. He didn't say he will count on the parliament, or he hopes that we get a hung parliament to help catch the horses when they have bolted. Another profound statement the president made, which I cannot forget, profound statement. He said he has advised his men and women that if their intention is to make money, they shouldn't come into his government. They should go to the private sector. That is where money is made. Profound statement. I don't think that any of our presidents in the Fourth Republic have made such profound anti-corruption statements. Profound. Insightful. Incisive. Very thought-provoking. And you will say that, look, it's the crux of the matter. If you are not coming to public service to serve the people, to better their lot, to improve their welfare, and it's just about making money for yourself, then don't come. You have no business taking that public oath. So President Akufo-Addo says that he has told his men, I don't know where he met them, and informed them. I'm sure Nana Akomea was sitting on the front pew, He came to tell us. We afterwards we were not in the meeting.
You don't know where he met his men.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know where he met his men. Whether it was his Nima residence or at Pediasi. He said that. Look, he's met them and told them. Afterwards, he only came to announce to us. I can imagine how stern he was. And when Nana Akufo-Addo decides to be stern, we've seen what he's doing to the chief. With his left hand. Hey, get up, get up. National anthem. I'm coming to greet. Get up, get up. So he can be stern. He told us that he met his men and told them that if you want to make money, don't come into my government, go into the private sector. Profound statement. Another profound statement he made. He says, the era of sole sourcing is coming to an end. The era of sole sourcing. Today, there's an Auditor General's report on cocoa board, Akufo sector, which says that 87% in an unprecedented development, 87% of all cocoa road projects are single source, and they are inflated by as much as 3 times. And the Vice President's brother is at the center of it. They're enjoying the sole sourcing after promising us that they will end the era of sole sourcing. Then, this is my favorite. Doc, this one is my favorite. President Akufo-Addo told us, I will institute the Anas principle in the fight against corruption. Anas principle. What is the rationale behind the Anas principle? So, the Anas principle is what you would describe as prevention is better than cure. So, using intelligence gathering. So, before your men and women decide to loot, to go and engage Sheikh Maktoum, who is not from Russia, is not linked to Sputnik V in any way, and comes to collect our $2.4 million, you will pick it up undercover, because prevention is better than cure. President Akufo-Addo didn't tell us that he will come and count on a hanged parliament, or he's hoping that there will be an NDC speaker of parliament. So, this attempt always, and it's been very consistent, let us, anytime there is corruption, there is looting, there is blatant graft, let us shift the discussion away from the real looters, those who have engaged in the looting, and go and be chasing some MPs somewhere who are not debating like J.H. Mensah or Hackman Osu Ajiman or Kwame Nabatels of old. I will not fall for that. Now, having said that, I also recognize that we in Parliament have a duty, because the whole principle of 3 arms of government, having a legislature, is for checks and balances. So when you have a very bad president who has made these profound statements and has failed, you don't say that, let's give up. You need to be forceful in trying to salvage what is left. And on that score, I agree with Nana that this parliament has to do more. Look, there are so many motions that are pending. For example, motion on the National Cathedral probe. You have a situation where almost a year now, the majority group, the MPP side, is refusing to submit names. The motion has been filed. Speaker admitted. We have had the debate. There was no objection that we need an inquiry into this monumental scandal. A resolution is passed by the House. It is just left with names to be submitted. Our names have been ready from that night. We submitted 4 names. Our colleagues on the other side, almost a year now, stalling the process.
But I mean, what you say, the example you give, does it not then fall in tandem with the point Nana makes? That look, in situations like this, you have the speaker.
Yes. Yes.
So if the speaker is supposed to be from your side.
Yes, and you expect that he will crack the whip.
Yes, and Parliament has decided that we need to set up a committee.
Yeah.
Both sides are supposed to provide members. The minority is provided membership. The majority has not provided membership for 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Even though I've been combing the standing orders, and such a situation, it appears that the standing orders does not anticipate, and so is silent on what should happen to the majority group and their leadership for failing to do that. I still hold the view.
But in the absence of a clear distinction, does the standing orders all provide for the speaker to then step in and give a ruling?
Yes, because the standing order says that in matters that are not provided for, that there is no clarity, the Speaker has the authority to step in, and settle the issue. So I will expect, and we are going to be reminding the Speaker, because all of this collectively does not help our image, even though in this case it is a majority group that is stonewalling and sabotaging the process. I mean, you take the Sputnik V probe, we had the probe, then it came to having the vote of censure. I don't know why that stayed on the order paper for many months. So there again, you can say that as an institution, we could have done better. So feedbacks like this should be taken in good faith, and we have a few months to regain the faith, because as of the executive, poll after poll, you can tell that it's probably the most mistrusted institution when you look at the polls, where many Ghanaians say that they've just lost confidence in the president's so-called war against corruption. He's become the fulcrum around which corruption is thriving. Then, Doc, the fundamental discussion we must be having is that why is it that in this country the system appears to rather protect the corrupt?
Explain that.
Corruption is taking root, and corruption is thriving with impunity. And if you have observed, Doc, for many, many, many years, look, for more than 30 years, we can count only 2 presidents who made sure that the Attorney General they have appointed prosecuted their own. Only 2. President Kufuor with Malamisa, the sports minister, who was eventually jailed over Black Stars money that got lost. And then President Mahama, whose record is really unmatched in terms of what, and I don't want to remind the family of Abu Gapele and others, I don't want to do that. But his own people went to jail. His national service appointees were being prosecuted for padding the national service list. I can't recall whenever under this president, even when there are matters to be investigated. Look, I was so outraged when I read that resignation response that the president sent to Cecilia Dapa. Oh, you have accepted your resignation, my dear Cecilia Dapa. Don't worry. I mean, I know you'll be vindicated with time. It was like a love letter to like a loved one. Serious corruption matter. Millions of dollars found under a bed. The country is in uproar. There's an upheaval. People are outraged. People are livid. And then the president is saying that, oh, you will be vindicated. When all the anti-corruption institutions see that letter, are you surprised that now they are at each other's throat? Nothing has come out of it. So the question we must be asking ourselves is that, what kind of architecture is this? What kind of regime is this that those who engage in corruption feel so emboldened, are protected, and the only way you can have some accountability is when there's regime change. So now the fight against corruption is not fighting current corruption and corruption of your own, but it is fighting the corruption of your political opponents. And political opponents are hoping that one day when they get power, then they deal with the corruption that is happening now. I mean, what system is this?